So what are we drinking today? I know the first thing that I want to try personally is we're doing Green Hill first.
We're going to do Green Fill, Undivided, Prairie Fire, and Lovebirds.
All right.
So actually, if we shimmy it.
Yeah, let's see.
There you go.
So this is the Green Hill.
That's the Green Hill.
All right.
That's what we're drinking here.
Yep. So this guy is our current double IPA. It's an 8%, but drinks like a 4%.
I was about to say, there's no way that's 8%.
Yeah. And the nice thing with this is it uses 3 of our local hops. Does cashmere, a little crystal, and a little Michigan copper.
Those are the names of the hops.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And it's nice with that because it blends it together. Like you actually could see through this double.
Yeah, which usually they're pretty hazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
looks more like a lager.
Yes.
It does look more like a lager.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like it's got nice head retention. Like when we filled these all up before, these have been sitting for like
at least 25
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And still got that nice lace on top and everything. This one here was really nice. The weekend this came out, we have a Kolschan right now. It's like 4.5%. And a lot of our regulars, our Mug Club members, were drinking this just like the Kolsch. And we had to go up to them and be like, guys, it's a double. They're like, no, it's not. It's like, look at the menu. It's 8%.
So I have a question because I'm an amateur beer guy. This is 8%.
Mm-hmm.
The IPA over here, you said is 7.5?
No, so the Undivided 6%. The one that's coming this weekend is 7.5.
When does it become a double? Or is it like, how does it become like from an IPA to a double IPA?
So it's funny with that. So like the 7 to 8% is that gray area. Depending on the brewery you go to, some will say like, well, it's in the mid 7 range, or like, oh, it's a really strong single, or it's like a weak double. Technically 8% up, we consider a double.
Okay.
And then that's when you sometimes will hear like, oh, it's an Imperial IPA or a triple. Triples typically are 9% and higher, 9.5% and higher. So like Dogfish 120.
Yeah.
So that's a classic Imperial IPA.
Okay.
So like if you had that fresh, you're gonna get all those hop notes. It's gonna hit you, bitterness, everything else like that.
Okay.
Imperial IPAs you could age just like barley wines and Imperial stouts, and it will. The Dogfish one is very unique.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother ball game.
I remember the first time I had one of those beers and I was like, wait, why am I drunk? What is happening?
Yeah, because that particular one typically is like 19-20%.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a fucked up beer, guys.
Oh,
it's a good beer, but it's fucked up.
It's one of those. It's
a life ruiner.
Oh yeah, you have one bottle and it's like all afternoon you're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's cool about this is just the color. Like I know we already said it, but like it doesn't look like a double IPA. It's just the danger of it is that I might not think if I didn't know what it was, and I would just start pointing back.
I'd be one of those people thinking it's a Kolsch slamming them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main reason. Like we have the menu for everyone that gets like a flight, and be like, hey, and whether we use the codes or we write it out completely, I'm be like, hey, this one's this one, this one's this one, and they could actually see like the tasting notes on the menu, the descriptions, everything else like that.
Yeah.
And if they're really curious, they could just go on our website on our beer menu to get the full description.
Oh, awesome.
But it's like that way they can see what they're drinking and the ABV.
So what is this? What else is this besides the hops? Would you guys put any like citrus in this? Do you put any extra?
No, this is just a classic homage to like a double IPA.
Okay, I was gonna say it's like a well-rounded IPA. It doesn't like it's not. You know what I like? It doesn't leave that really hoppy, bitter aftertaste forever. Yeah.
And that's what we try doing with all our IPAs, whether they're a single, double, triple, is making them so they're all well-rounded. Because you want the hops to complement the malts, even in like an IPA. And with that, it shouldn't be just that classic West Coast. Oh, it's so many IBUs.
Yeah.
Because that's actually one reason why I usually won't get an IPA when I go out.
Yeah, they're just they're I don't know, just harsh. They're harsh. I would rather drink a
They're
stout.
that bitter bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this has a nice mouthfeel to it too, is what I like. It's like smooth and nice.
And that's the nice thing because you get that between the local malts that we use as well as the hops as well. And it just all comes together in that Green Hill.
It's fucking delicious. I was telling myself I was trying not to swear, but I can't help it. I'm like, it's just fucking delicious.
We've talked about this, Carly.
I know, I can't help it. I can't help it. Sometimes things are just so effing delicious. You just have to tell people.
You just have to say it.
You just go in, edit it, and just do the blurb.
You know what? I keep advocating. Did you ever watch SpongeBob growing up? I don't like SpongeBob is a weird thing. So I'm like, I've talked about it to people who are my age and they're like, never. Or I've talked about it to people who are in their 60s and they're like, I love SpongeBob. I'm like, what's the age range for SpongeBob?
I've never watched it.
But so I always flirt with, you have kids.
They've watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I always flirt with the idea of doing the dolphin noises instead of the bleeps. But you wouldn't get that reference because you are out of touch.
I'm 100. Yeah.
But this is why we have to explain everything to them.
I know, exactly. It's a lot of hand holding. It's cool.
I'm great with like the 60 and up ladies. They love me.
The 60 and
I'm
up.
good for that demographic. They just learned Instagram, but they love me.
That's why they love. They think you're so cool. They're like, this guy's got it.
Like, he's so nice.
You want to grab the Undivideds? Yeah. So the next beer that's coming is the Undivided.
So I wanted to ask you about the Undivided because I learned about it here from you a couple weeks ago. I didn't know that was a thing, but now I'm seeing it everywhere. So what's the history behind Undivided and how many breweries and all that?
So the quick history on Undivided is it's a single IPA recipe that Peter, the owner at Aspetuck, made. And the concept was to help fund the Connecticut Brewers Guild. With COVID going on, no festivals going on whatsoever, maybe a couple of virtuals, this and that. The concept was this was going to be one of those fundraisers for the guild to keep the guild going because the Connecticut Brewers Guild does a lot of lobbying for all the breweries in the state.
Right.
Does a lot of educational seminars for all the brewers, so they're up on pace with like their TTB education, what's going on state level, federal level, making those connections. And Connecticut's great with how all the breweries help each other out. Yeah. And the guild just takes it to another level when it helps with the political aspect. So Undivided is just your basic single IPA recipe that Peter made. It's got like a large wheat portion in the bill, very easy drinking, 6%. And the concept that Peter did originally when he was doing it was, here's the grain bill. It's going to have 4 hops. 3 of the hops were proprietary hops that he uses. And he's going to do the 4th one as dealer's choice.
Oh.
So that was the main concept. So when he presented this idea back in January to the guild, I'm like, we don't use any of those proprietary hops. Being a farm brewery,
right.
We use all local.
You don't use like Galaxy and Simcoe and anything.
We don't do Galaxy, Citra, Simcoe, Mosaic, Azaka. I think they actually had Citra, Azaka, and Mosaic in it. And so we went, can we use our local hops to achieve the similar flavor and aromatic profiles? But just being all local. And he's like, sure, that's awesome, because that's your take then on Undivided. And so we use 100% Connecticut malts to achieve the 6% ABV in it, and stayed true with the recipe for at least the grain bill on that, and then the local aspect, the local hop aspect on it. And so there's right now, I believe, either released or going to be released 30 different breweries doing their take on it.
Wow.
And what I've seen so far is people that have taken the recipe and gone true with it, keeping it 6%. Some that have done more of like a session, some doing a little stronger, some doing more of a juicier, some people actually putting raspberries in it. So I'm seeing probably like 50-50 of who's actually going to what the original recipe was. And then people are just jazzing it up and doing this. And it's cool with that, because we've been seeing a lot of people be like, hey, we heard you had Undivided. We want to try yours now. Or we want to come and get a couple of cans or a couple of growlers too. And they do that.
It's funny. I had the Aspetuck one on Saturday. The original.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were the original.
Yeah, we didn't either. We didn't know that. We just learned that. And it's really good. I like this. It's really smooth and it just goes down.
It's very easygoing. Ours is like just a classic easygoing single IPA.
Yeah. This will be a nice summer IPA. It's not like a like weigh you down, feel like you've eaten 6 loaves of bread kind of beer.
It's got that nice, just enough like bitterness to it, that nice mouthfeel to it. It keeps the head retention. And that, like how you're saying, this would be a great summer IPA, easygoing. And then that's our take on it.
I love that.
And it's cool to see like how everyone's been doing. I know when Aspetuck first launched theirs, Back East launched theirs the same weekend. Two Roads is going to do theirs sometime in March.
Oh, they're going to do one.
And so if you go on to Aspetuck's website, we have a link on our website that goes to the Undivided page where it gives you the actual recipe. So if any home brewers actually want to do a stab at it, they can. And then it has at the very bottom all the breweries that are doing Undivided right now.
Oh, I love that.
That's awesome.
I love that they give you guys give the recipe for home brewers.
You got to try it.
If any of you brew it, let me know. I want to try it.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And it's pretty an easygoing recipe. So
it's nothing crazy complicated.
Exactly. So it's like if you've had like at least like basic home brewing knowledge, you probably could make it if you did like all grains and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm assuming. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just gonna say the Praetorian hops that are in the main recipe are pretty easy to get to.
Yeah.
If you're doing like a homebrew website or something like that.
I'm assuming you started off homebrewing, right?
Years ago. It's actually been a bit more than a decade now.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to like any? Recently found out that there are school programs to go to be a brewer, which I guess makes sense. It's just nothing that I ever thought about. There's a schooling program for everything now.
Yeah.
So did you ever do any of those programs, or did you just like trial and error learn by yourself?
So I did not. There's been programs all over the country that have been going years back, more like out west. Me personally, I was just learning between what my cousin showed me, what I picked up from other breweries that I was helping out with, this and that. When I first opened our farm brewery, I was doing most of this stuff. And then between doing the farm brewery and the farm itself, and actually having a little one on the way at the time, it was just too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
So then I brought on Colin to take over the brewery aspect, the roles and everything like that. And he mainly heads up our brewing department right now. And it's one of those where it's just easier with him and I working together, getting everything going. Every now and then I'll come in from the fields with like a basket of goodies. I'll get two looks. Either, okay, we could do that, or what the hell did you bring?
What's the craziest thing you ever brought him that he's like, what did you bring this here for?
It might have been when I did the bushel sweet potatoes. That or one of the fruits. I can't remember.
Just some crazy fruit that he was like,
no. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's all good.
Have you ever done any like vegetable beers, like a roasted bell pepper or something like that?
Straight vegetable, no. I think like really like vegetable would just be the sweet potatoes.
So you did end up using them in a beer?
We did our sweet potato pie porter.
Oh my God.
So that one actually just went off probably a month ago or so. That was one of our Thanksgiving beers.
That sounds delicious.
Colin, what was the craziest vegetable Alex ever brought you and said make a beer out of it? Or piece of produce in general? No, we don't want diplomatic.
No diplomatic.
He is a farmer.
Yeah.
So, probably the delicata squash.
Delicata.
Oh,
What?
yes.
Cut up and baked exactly like French fries.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
trying to wrap my head
Yeah.
around in the palate.
Yeah.
But, you know, strawberry basil.
Yeah.
It's sold out.
You go home, curse his name out, and then come back and just get to work.
Well, you know, like you said, we kind of put our heads together and have a farm.
Oh, nice.
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
love
brewer to
that.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those, and it's like last year, I had the Lavender Garden planted right in the corner, right behind us, and we knew at some point we were gonna use the lavender in something.
Yeah.
And then it's actually our sour series showcases a lot of the fruits that we use, local fruits, and we had our blackberries coming in. We used our raspberries, I think, right before to do like a peach raspberry sour, and then the next one, the blackberries all coming in. We're like, blackberries, lavender, yeah,
Ooh.
it'll work.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it
I
does.
love lavender.
Yeah.
Such a good
So that
flavor.
was nice. I forget how many ounces we used, but we probably use like 4 dry ounces of the lavender in the whole batch.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah, no, for lavender it is, but it's like it all came in like what 200 feet from where we're sitting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's all good with that. Also with the undivided, like I was saying before, going back to like all local farm brewery, that's just our premise for all the beers that we make. And I know I'm going on a tangent.
No, it's good.
I mean,
but-
I love that you're passionate about it because you also wrote the legislation for Connecticut farm breweries, essentially, right?
correct.
You wrote the legislation?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so I helped author it with Department of Agriculture, both the commissioner at the time, his deputy, getting that going, and then so we worked with the Connecticut Brewers Guild, a lot Farm Bureau, the executive director of Farm Bureau, who at the time was the director, now he's actually our commissioner, which he's a great guy, Brian Herbert. And we got passed back in 2016, 2017, and our former governor signed it into law in 2017.
Is it Dan Malloy?
Yeah.
No. You know, my dad was
Yeah.
his chief of staff
Really?
Was
for
it?
4
You're a
years.
politician kid?
I'm a politician kid, yeah.
That makes so much. Everything
That's
is
why-
starting to come full circle.
That's why I drink
now.
so much.
That's why I drink so much.
Yeah.
This is understandable.
It's
yes.
terrible. I have a brother, we're 2 years apart, and we used to like be competitive and have these contests. It could be anything like building a sandcastle. My father would find a way for us to tie every time because he was so political. And it'd just be like, come on, man, like pick a winner.
Not
I
everyone's
worked
a
hard
winner,
on this.
Dad.
You know? It's crazy.
It's like
but,
flip a
yeah.
coin.
Oh, my
thing.
dad was a huge fan of the flip a coin.
Yep.
Was like, I can't do it. Heads or tails. What do you want?
But
Yeah, that's cool. So Malloy signed it in.
Yep, he signed it in, I think it's June, July of 17. And then I took it from there, brought it to my town, and got my town to adopt it through planning zoning amendment. And then once they took them 6 months to greenlight that. And then once finally they greenlighted it, we put our permit in, they approved that, and then we had this all rolling. So this took once they approved that, about 10, 11 months to fully build this out
Wow.
and get it going. And our anniversary was, we had our 1 year back November 1st.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Happy belated anniversary. Very belated
you.
anniversary.
Oh yeah. But
That's
yeah,
exciting.
it's-
Now you're on your way to year 2, and it seems like you guys are going really well, especially in the middle
Oh,
of
yeah.
a pandemic. Anyone
Yeah.
that has like a steady, at least weekend crowd, I'm like, cool. I'll see you in the summer.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like when you guys came, you see like what we're actually doing with the fields and the farm all around here. And like I was saying, come spring and summer, pavilion's gonna be done in like a month,
Oh, that's
if
so
even. So you'll have plenty of seating in the cooler months too with the heat lamps.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, great shade because the umbrellas last year didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Especially at a certain point in the, you're just hot and dark instead of hot and bright.
Right.
Yeah, like 90-degree weather. It's like, yeah, you have the cold beer, but maybe 2, and you're like, no, I'm
You're
out
like,
of here.
yeah, I'm like hot. I'm
Yeah.
like starting to feel like I'm melting.
Yeah. So it's one of those. So we're really getting the fields going and everything. And depending how this year goes, you might see a haunted corn maze out there.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for Halloween stuff. I
Me
love
too.
Halloween stuff. I love
Yeah.
spooky things. Oh my God. Just have a bunch of drunk adults running through the corn maze like, oh God.
Yeah. It's one of those where,
You're trying to figure out how to facilitate it safely.
yeah, and it's like, do you do, okay, wave 1 go, whatever it is, but that's down the road.
Yeah.
You guys just have to come back and visit when we do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Bring it to the table, host. Lost in corn maze.
Bring it to the table, loses Brandon.
Yeah, exactly.
But should we go for our next
I was
one?
gonna
Yeah.
say, this is Oh, let me grab you guys one. Otherwise,
can
I'll
we
just
have some
chug
too?
it. No.
Yeah, she wants to hug
Actually,
it all.
I'm gonna drink both of yours as well.
I was gonna say, so to be fair, when you guys came, this one was just coming out that weekend. This is the Prairie Fire. This is our sour with mangoes and habanero. The easiest way I describe it to people is like taking a mango and shoving a straw in it.
Yeah.
And then the habaneros, when we did that addition to it, we were gonna originally put in for like 2 days, and then we came back the next day. And I think it was like maybe 20 hours. We had the peppers in, and we were trying it. We're like, no, that's just enough heat to bring it together. We pulled the habaneros out, and it wraps it around. So it's more of like a hugging, gracing, warming aspect to it with a little natural spice.
Yeah.
And the mangoes, you just can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And so like that first weekend, the weekend when you guys came that we had this, almost every tab had 1 or 2 of these. And it was crazy.
It's so delicious.
I just
love it.
I love the color of it. You know,
It looks like mango juice.
Yeah.
It is just it's adult juice. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try this.
And we've had a lot of people, they're like, you have to make this again in the summertime.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, okay, I could definitely see that on like an 80, 90 degree day. In the summertime, we do our slushy machine. And they're like, oh, you should put this in the slushy machine. I'm like, at that point, you guys just want a daiquiri. Let's be honest. I'm like, you just want this as a daiquiri.
True, but you did kind of get us excited when you said that.
I was gonna say, I'm like, you mean you can make this into a beer slushy? Hold the phone.
Yes.
Hold
beer,
the phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So beer slushes, I love that. You guys do that? You guys did that last year?
We did it last summer. We started sometime in July. We started doing the slushies, and we went through August and a little September. And we bounced back between our sours and then sometimes taking like our porters or stouts and almost doing like a coffee colada aspects to them. And it's funny because like the first porter that we did, the slushy machine really like did a bitterness to it. Mm-hmm. So then we took our own maple syrup from the farm and used that as a syrup in the slushy. Oh. And then it brought it all for full circle.
That's
and it was really nice.
Next question, I imagine. So now, I know some beer freezes because I've had beers explode in my car because I forget them. Mm-hmm. But how difficult is it to get that alcohol to slushy up instead of freeze completely? Like in my head, I'm like, how?
So the challenge is, especially with like the slushy machines, as you go through the day and you get less and less volume in the machine, you have to watch it because at that point it's like the machine's still going and the auger's still going.
But there's only this much product. So
exactly. So it's like we
almost
might
overworking bread or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And you actually could see like the colors will stratify sometimes, or it's like it'll start like we'll throw like a cherry puree in it in like some of the sours to help sweeten it, and then over the day you just see it gets lighter and lighter, and we're like, no, we're cutting it at this point, and the rest just goes in the sink.
Yeah.
I have a question. So we were talking about the pandemic a little bit earlier, and like you kind of opened in the pandemic, or it hit shortly after, right? Mm-hmm. What's like the craziest thing that you deal with in the brewery, like when people are in here with the pandemic?
We've had when it first happened, and we're mainly outside. The basic like regulations, the rules, people are just getting used to.
Yeah.
So just me going up, talking with people and being like, hey, just follow like the mask guidelines or the spacing or this and that. And they're pretty understandable with it. The hardest thing though, like going with the masks, is when people first come in, especially in the wintertime when everyone's bundled up, is trying to figure out, it's like, okay, are these people of age or not?
Right.
And asking them for their IDs. And it was actually the same day you guys came last time. We had a group come in, and inside we don't allow children.
Right.
Outside in summer time we do. Either. But when they first came in, we had this individual that she was all bundled up, and she was really short, and I wasn't thinking. I went, oh, sorry, we don't allow kids.
Oh, no.
And she's like,
What the fuck?
wait, what do you mean kids?
What do you mean, kids?
and it's funny because when we ID'd everyone, I'm not gonna say the person's age, but she was
Old enough to drink.
yeah, she's far way old enough to
Substantially
drink.
old enough to
Oh
drink.
yeah, but it's like with the mask and everyone bundled up, it's like you really can't see their
It's so
faces.
hard.
It's awesome. Actually, like
It's awesome.
It is like the pandemic has made me so much better looking. So like I just walk in, I got the mask, I got nice eyes, and women love me.
That
and
is
then,
true. Everyone's attracted with the mask. So I see the eyes. I'm like, you have
It's
great
true.
eyes. I'm gonna assume maybe.
Yeah, I went from like a
looking.
I went from like a solid 5 to like a 9 with the mask. But you know what? It works against me because they have masks. So it's the same
true,
thing.
Then you're risking it.
Yeah, so I'm risking it. But hey, it's worked out in my favor so far. Like continue the masks even after the pandemic, I'd say.
I just feel weird when people card me, like when I'm buying alcohol at like a liquor store, they look at my ID and look at me. I'm like, how do you know it's me? I'm underneath a mask.
Yeah.
I could literally be anyone else.
You want- yeah, go ahead.
That's why I always wondered, like, with the package stores or grocery stores right now, what are they doing with all this?
I had to, when I was getting my passport recently, I gave them ID. She was like, I need you to take your mask off. I was like, in the post op? I was like, there's people around. She's like, yeah, I need to see your face. I was like, is that good? She's like, I need to see your face. I'm like, oh my God, I feel dangerous. I feel weird. But I've never done that anywhere else. It's just been the post office.
Yeah.
You know
Because
what's-
if they asked me to take it off in the liquor store, I'd be like, you got me all sorts of messed up. No way.
You know what's funny? Because I'm a banker. In the height of the pandemic, like April, like when it was just really starting to get crazy, you know, people would go into the banks and like walk in looking sick. And like we're coughing all over the place.
Ew.
Like, oh, I just got off a plane from Seattle, which at the time was like the hot spot, and like laughing and like seemed out of it. And then
You're
like,
like, cool, let me grab 3 more masks to put
let me,
on.
but they'd be like, let me cash a check, right? And then the teller would be like, here's your money, get out of here. And really they weren't sick, but they were pretending because it was fraud. So like, yeah, people be committing fraud, but pretending they were sick. So like,
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, the
Why
COVID,
didn't I think of that? I could be swimming in money.
the COVID schemes were crazy. COVID schemes have been crazy. So the funny thing about like the bank now is like you used to be able to not come in like with a mask or with glasses, but now you can't come in unless you look like you're going to rob the bank. So someone comes in and they don't look like they're about to rob the bank. We get scared. They come in looking like a bank robber. We're like, cool,
Oh,
like so glad to
perfect.
see you. Welcome. It's crazy.
God.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I have some more questions for you.
yeah.
In general, I'm a food blogger.
Yep.
And when we were here, you had Chef Truck, which was amazing.
Oh yeah, his truck is hands down, like he'll pull the recipes and be like, today we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And it's nice with that because his truck, especially, every time you come, you have something different.
So is it every time he changes the menu?
Oh yeah,
or-
it's he might have 3-4 standards,
Mhm.
and then it's like whatever he has like in season or whatever it might be. It's like today we're gonna have mac and cheese with brisket on it.
Yeah.
Or be like today we're gonna have a Baja wrap, or we're gonna have the mac and cheese burger that you had.
Mm-hmm.
called like a Mac Truck burger. That thing was amazing. I was gonna get a grilled cheese, and then Joe was like, "You have to get the Mac Truck burger. Look at it.
Yeah.
It was awesome." It
Which
was
was
like
way
stuffed.
the better decision. That thing was so good.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Still thinking about
That's
it.
why I like that he's a food blogger, because I can eat whatever I want. He has to eat what looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then because I'm always going to drink every beer I go, so that's no problem. He has to eat. That's far more filling.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but that's the thing I love about going to breweries now. A lot of people don't like it. They're like, "Oh, we have to order food," and I get it. They don't want people
Like,
to
I
bar
love
hop.
that.
Yeah.
I have an unlimited appetite. So like I can go to 3 breweries and eat a full thing like at every one. So
There you go.
I love that I can just walk in and get really good food. And that was really good that day.
There you go.
What
Yeah.
other trucks you bring in?
So we have lined up right now until about November, almost all the trucks scheduled, and about 12 different trucks.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So starting in April, we have our pizza truck coming back. They have like a beehive trailer that pull around. They do like the personal pies.
Oh, like the whole, like they have like the oven, like the stone
Oh
or
yeah,
the brick
stone
oven right in it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And they like sell out all the time. We have street and savory, mariachis in Wallingford, Mamoons.
Have
oh, yeah.
moons here?
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
They're
I love
actually gonna be
Mamoons.
here Sunday.
Oh my God. I'm doing that brunch event. We throw
Yeah.
a brunch event in New York where we do like party brunch.
Okay.
It's fun. It's fun. You should go. I forgot I'm being recorded. I'm like, wait, no, hold on, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like way more fun. I love Mamoons. I miss
their food's amazing.
I miss the times like pre-COVID where I'm like out at bars close at 2. I'm like, oh my God, I need food. There's nothing open, but Mamoons is open. Have you ever been?
No.
It is
the falafel, amazing.
Oh.
The gyros.
so
And the great thing about them is you can put the fries in the wrap.
Oh, I love that.
That's like the
Like-
best thing to do.
Oh yeah,
love that.
like the fries by themselves are really
Yeah.
good, but the fries in the wrap,
Yeah.
It's like putting a hash brown on your bacon, egg, and cheese
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of thing. It's just,
yeah.
oh
Is-
my God.
between that, everything
I'm
else
so
they
upset
do.
I'm not going to be here Sunday.
We have the old KCS grilled cheese truck.
oh my God.
Oh.
So they now are crispy melt
Yeah.
because I don't know if you guys know. So
Oh.
the old KCS truck actually burnt up,
No
and
way.
so
That's so sad.
that was like back in the fall, and so they picked up our friend's food truck. So they've been doing a combination of Micros burgers and grilled cheese.
Micros Burgers
Micros,
from Hampton.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
you know, that was my favorite restaurant for years. Like when I was married, long before my life fell apart, my wife and I used to go because we lived in Cheshire. We used to-
Which one of your Tribus divorces was this?
This was the second divorce.
Okay.
Well, the third divorce to the second wife. It's
the
it's hard-
third
it's-
divorce to the second wife.
It's my third total divorce, but it was to my second wife because we were together twice. So it was
Oh,
like,
so you went back for a second
yeah,
taste.
yeah, I went back just to get like destroyed again. So it was good. It was all good. But we used to go.
This is why he eats all the time.
Exactly.
It's all I have left.
This is why he eats and this is why I drink, because I have to constantly hear about his Tribus divorces.
Yes.
We found out the other day that Tribus means 3. So now he's been describing his divorces as
I have Tribus kids
divorces.
and Tribus divorces, so it's pretty good.
Oh, you have kids
But
with all of them too.
I have 3 children.
I
I have Tribus child support payments. Yes, so
yes.
we're good. But we used to drive from Cheshire to Micro every Saturday, and we'd
Yep.
have the mug, and I would get the poutine with pulled pork, and
Yes.
they had this flatbread called the French Revolution flatbread with duck bacon, and it had
so
this
good.
crazy sauce in it, and it was so good. But then they moved. The menu's a little bit different now.
It is.
But still
yeah.
good. It just leveled up, to be honest. But I miss some of the old stuff.
I missed a location where like Texaco is right now.
Yeah.
Because that small area that's what made Micro.
I agree. I used to have to knock people over to get a seat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, granted, I love the new place, and I'm great friends with the owner. He actually lives right down the street. He comes in all the time.
I was about
and
to say, he's probably here a lot.
I just say, yeah, no, he is. He all the stuff that you've had, he's loved, and it's one of those. It's like the pandemic has even with them, all the restaurants, the restaurant industry, just in general,
It's been
it's
what the state, the country in general, but specifically what New York, New Jersey, Connecticut have done to restaurants and breweries, I think is just absolutely unspeakably horrible. I think if you can go to Walmart at 10 p.m., there's no reason why you can't go to a bar or a brewery.
well that, and more particularly, every week, every month, it's something different.
Something new. You're open only till 9:30. You can open late. You can't do this. You have to do this. You must do this. Plexiglass is allowed. Plexiglass you don't need. No, you would need it now. It's just, what do you need from us?
That's the thing, the seesawing aspect,
Yeah.
and it's one of those that's like. It's Connecticut scene. I think a couple months ago they were saying over 600 restaurants have gone under.
Yep.
Well, think about it. A lot of restaurants, especially nice restaurants with good food, aren't designed to do takeout.
They're not.
The chefs don't want to have takeout because they don't want you to get home and the
You
food's
also
terrible.
can't survive
Yeah.
solely on that. You have all of your lights on and everything running, but you don't have, 50, 60 tables. You now have
Yeah.
maybe 13, 20, 30 takeouts.
And that's the problem. Like the overhead, if you're only takeout, you could manage.
That's what
But
it is. It's
like
managing.
that-
It's barely breaking even.
Well,
You're like,
that's the thing. And it's like, how long can you
Survive.
struggle and crawl to just get by?
exactly.
You're buying
Whereas-
igloos. You're creating these patios. There's a
Well, that was the other thing.
Dad's
Yeah.
Diner in Wallingford since day one. Just do a tent out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, please come in, And it's like, that's kind of why I started the food blog. It was
Yep.
like, I see these restaurants failing and I love going out to eat. And I'm like, let's go. Like, let's get these people business. It's safe to go to a restaurant. You can sit there, you can eat. You won't get as sick. Like, you can get sick anywhere, from takeout. even.
And like for us, we have like in the warmer months, people spread out on the lawn, right on the fields. They love it.
Yeah.
And granted, we have a limited selected crowd that will come in, but we have a lot of people that feel comfortable because we do so much extra spacing than what we have to mandated by the state.
Yeah.
And like we understand because I'm the main vector for like my family at home. So it's like I gotta worry about everyone. And I want to keep my staff safe. I want to keep everyone that attends safe and everything like that. And that's why a lot of our clientele comes because how stringent we are when it comes to the basic COVID regulations.
Right.
Yeah.
And that being said, like how we're mentioning the tents, I was factoring between last year and this year, if we did a tent, it actually costs us a hell of a lot more money than the pavilion that we're putting up right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So if we did a tent all last year and
Well, because you
this
have to
year,
essentially rent it instead of purchase, or you
Well, that's
could
the thing.
buy it, but
well, even if we bought it,
Mhm.
To put up a tent, you can only have it up for state regulations 180 days.
what?
And if you had the weather, with the crazy weather we've been having,
Who knows what will happen?
like-
They could
like-
get blown across the country.
well, I was just saying, like we had the tornadoes back in August,
That is, oh my
and,
God, I forgot about that.
and so the pavilion we actually are making to handle hurricane winds.
So you mean when there's a hurricane, I'm going to come here to drink?
Oh yeah,
Cool. Great. You guys will see me outside holding onto the post. Be like, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
Having a great time.
But
You
yeah,
kind of
but-
are a hurricane too, so it's perfect. You are a hurricane.
Yes, that's,
So
fair.
it's
That's
pretty
fair.
perfect.
I'm closer to being a tornado.
yeah.
What's more chaotic? Because that's Carly.
I'm a tsunami happening on the day of a hurricane when you just had an F5 tornado 2 days ago.
There you go.
That's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
But it's in one spot though. I'm like controlled chaos. It's just chaos.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess we could go for that.
That's why I have them though. They're like relatively calm.
Okay.
Maybe not him so much, but Joey's super calm. And whenever I'm like, what if we did this? They're like, what if we
No,
did 6
they
levels
reel you
below
back in,
that?
yeah.
She's
Like,
like
no, thank
Khaleesi on a dragon, like Game of Thrones, with unicorn hair, flying with like a ice dragon, ready to create chaos.
I'll take that. I love
Aye.
that.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's a compliment. That's the only compliment I'll ever give you.
But that's the thing with COVID and everything like that. And so like with the pavilion, the other thing is the heat lamps.
That's
So
right.
I actually, before the heat lamps got bought out last year, I was pricing them out back in June and July, knowing
That
we're gonna
winter
need-
would eventually come.
Yeah, winter came.
Oh, winter did come.
Winter is coming.
See, it's
Yeah.
been snowing more this winter, I think, in like the last like 5, in my opinion.
Easily.
Yeah.
It's so much now.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
But looking at like what those propane burners, like how many,
How long they burn.
yeah, how long they burned, all the tanks you go through, that also factored into why we're doing pavilion versus the tents.
Yeah.
And also too, because we could just do like heat lamps.
Heat lamps, or like do you guys have any sort of like fireplace setup out there? Like a fire pit?
There is one that's going to be in the works, but
Ooh.
we're playing COVID by ear with that because it has a spot with the pavilion. But with all the regulations and foreseeing maybe this whole year, more than likely you're going to have, there's going to be a double-sided hearth, but you would have one party with the regs.
Yeah.
And you get so many people that are going to be pissed off because they're like, I want the fireplace. No, I want the fireplace.
Yeah, it's like
So rather than building it right away,
just gonna.
it has a spot. It
You could
will
be like,
eventually
look,
go.
it is coming soon. Fireplace. Don't bitch about it now.
Exactly. So they have heat lamps. That'd be nice for them.
That's
Yeah.
so exciting.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
But
Say
Running into
so.
the fourth beer.
I was gonna say, let's go for the first one.
So this one is called
So this one just came out this past weekend, Valentine's weekend.
Yeah.
the Lover's Beer. What is it called?
Lovebirds.
Oh,
thank you.
Lovebirds.
Yeah. So this guy here is our barrel aged Imperial Stout blend. So the barrel was a port barrel aged with cherries, cacao nibs, a little vanilla, a little espresso for about 10 months or so.
Okay.
Barrel actually aged right underneath us. And we blended it with a fresh Imperial Stout.
Wow.
And the blend is about 10.5%. And when you guys were here, I gave you a little sample, and when we moved it from actually blending it, it needed a couple of weeks just to settle, fully come together and everything. So we just launched it this past weekend, and it's like from now to like when you guys had it, I think it's changed.
Yeah. I also want to say really quick, I think even the Prairie Fire changed. It's got definitely a little bit more of a kick than it did the other like last time I was here. I love it too.
When Carly drank it just a couple of minutes ago, she bounced like, whoa.
Wow, that's got kick. I love spicy things. That was so good. But I'm really excited to see how this aged.
Carly told me on our first episode that she's not looking for love, so we'll see if she if she finds love with your Lovebird beer.
Oh, maybe.
Oh god, that's gonna be the only thing that anyone remembers from that video is that I'm not looking for love. I'm like, oh no, oh god.
You found love. It's in your hand. Drink it.
That's facts. Listen, that's why I'm not looking for love. I already found it. It's called beer.
It's a Lovebird from.
It's called beer and my dogs.
Yeah.
There you go. And the nice thing with this one is.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is delicious.
This guy here will have a few sisters coming in the future. So that fresh Imperial that we blended with this, part of it went into our Taconic maple bourbon barrels. So that'll be maybe 8-10 months down the road. That'll be coming out.
How do you contain your excitement waiting 8 to 10 months for a beer?
It's funny because you remember those like infomercial commercials where it's like set and forget it. It's like it's almost that's what you're doing with the barrels, and it's like I know I'm dating myself with that, but it's
I think we all dated ourselves then because
that's why I'm here.
Definitely remember that.
I'm always older than everybody, so it's fine.
But with that, it's like so you have those coming. There's as we're talking, there's like 20 different barrels underneath us that are aging, all different kinds. The third sister. Of these guys that's coming is the remainder of the fresh Imperial. We dry hopped with coconut.
Ooh.
And then it's going to be bottled with our Thai chilies from the farm. And the fun thing with that is, hint, hint, probably in a few months, is it's going to be a bottle release of a 3-pack. And each bottle is going to be labeled either 3, 6, or 12. And then that's the months that bottle would be aged that you should drink it at.
That is so cool.
Wow.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
So each bottle will have a Thai chili in it.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's just gonna get like it would be just like spicier and spicier as the months go on. Maybe not just spicier, but the whole beer will kind of ferment and age.
It's gonna evolve. To a certain point, it'll gain more heat, but we're not actually gonna break the pepper. It's just going to be the whole pepper, so it will slowly release.
It's not going to do like the seeds and the oils from inside like immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like if we dice it up and everything, then it'd be instant boom.
Instant hot, yeah.
Yeah.
So why does it age in a bottle? Like so I don't know if you remember over the summer we had gone to Two Roads, and they did like one of their area. They had their
Area 2 anniversary.
Shoot, it was shortly after their like cloud release.
Yeah.
Of beers, but they had a beer where it was fermented in cement. There we go. Say that 5 times fast. Fermented in cement, but then they bottled it and it ages in the bottle. So now, why, as opposed to a can, will it age in a bottle?
That goes back into like the different styles that we were talking about before. So certain styles can age like wine, and so like Imperial stouts. Imperial IPAs, barley wines are classic examples of ones that could age.
Okay.
And typically those styles you want to have more so aged because like just with this one, a couple of weeks ago when we first moved it to now here it is, it's rounded itself more, it's come together. A barley wine, like we have a barley wine aging underneath us right now. And when you first make it, especially in the brew house, it needs 6 months to a year before you're just going to drink it.
Yeah.
Before you put into like barrels or whatnot, if you're going to do something like that. And that's just that style. Sometimes like an Imperial Stout, who's the classic one? I think Dragon's Milk, New Holland Dragon's Milk.
Yep.
When they put that into the bourbon barrels,
Was it left hand or something? They have
it's like syrup when they first put it in, and that's how sweet it is because they have to make it so solid because the barrels actually break it down.
Okay.
So like what you're drinking in your glass, like from draft, from like New Holland, like Dragon's Milk, even though it's still relatively thick, if you had that fresh,
it would be
it'd be like syrup.
Yeah, like molasses in your cup.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that's like when you see like these barrel fests. These are products that have been aging for
At least
6 months, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years
That's
easily.
awesome.
So you guys heard it here first. This drop dead gorgeous beer right here has hot young sisters that are almost of age.
I can't stand you. Oh my god, that was funny. That was good.
You call them sisters. They're in the basement aging, and they're almost ready to go.
Just not touching that one.
Yeah, welcome to my life constantly.
Yep. Sorry.
I can't say anything ever without him being like.
Somebody from church followed, bring it to the table the other day.
No.
And he's kind of he's in charge of production, and I'm on production, and I'm like, well, I can't go to church anymore.
Guess my job's over.
I'm done. Yep, I'm done.
It's like I'm going to hell.
Yep.
Listen, I'll see you there. That's great. I've got like a VIP section and everything.
I will not be there, and you will not be there. That's why we're together. I'm going to take you to the bright side with me.
Oh my god!
It's
Every
gonna
time
happen
you
soon.
listen, according to Darth Vader, the dark side's the better side.
Only if you're thinking about this Earth. But let's change the subject because I can see I'm going to get double teamed.
Okay.
So it's cool.
Oh, was that the first time you've gotten double teamed?
He's like, I'm not admitting that one.
He can't admit it for the church.
Not till the sisters are of age.
Poor Joey's having a heart
He's like,
attack.
nah, I'm out.
I'm out. Project canceled. Back to bald bites.
Back to bald bites. Back to
kidding.
me.
No, I'm kidding. So
Jesus.
one thing that I noticed that I really love when I'm in here, and I just love the way your brewery looks, by the way. It's gorgeous. Like you walk in and it's beautiful. And this is in the winter. Like I can't wait to see the farmland with the patio and everything. But the artwork is super cool. Like there's a couple of paintings I'm looking at while we're talking of like a bonsai tree. There's like, there's some on the other side. Like tell us a little bit about the artwork.
So pretty much all the artwork you see here has been done by a family member.
Oh.
And the whole aspect is, it was designed as tavern-esque, the tavern, the tap room. Because, and I think I told you guys a little of the history back when you first came, was my oldest brother lives in the original tavern in town down the street.
Yeah.
It's actually the house right behind our farm stand. And we tried making how his living room that was the tavern, this tap room look similar to that with the stone, the woodwork, everything else like that. And when you go into a tavern or something like hospitality with that, you have all the pictures, the paintings, everything else. And so having our family members have all these paintings, especially my mother's side is amazingly talented.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So a lot of the paintings that you see here when you come, my uncle did. So
Awesome.
like all the ones in the cathedral he did. We have some around here. One of my grandmothers actually did the one right over us. That's actually the field, fun history within the area, in Wallingford where the new Anthem Blue Cross building is.
Oh, really?
Right
No
off
way.
91.
Wow.
That was the cornfield that they built the building on.
Oh my god.
Wow.
She used to live across the street. So a little history of the land all around here too. So
awesome.
you get that.
I think I love that you took the tap handles from that old building too, right?
The tap handles actually came when I was putting up the hop yard.
Oh, okay.
Some of the wood that we had up there, some of the trees, and I just cut them up, did the tap handles up, and I'm like, you know what?
These look great.
I'm like, yeah, you use the farm for the tap handles rather than like paying $50, $75, $100 for each tap handle.
They don't have to redo them every single beer you do. It's just hassles.
Well, that's the thing. And it's like, it comes back to that farm nostalgia.
And also, no one will have the same tap handles as you ever, which is super cool.
Yes.
They're like
We've
snowflakes.
had so many people who are like, can we just take them or buy them? And it's like,
make them yourself. I made it. You can make it.
I'm like, guys, get a drill, get a piece of wood, locker
some
it.
shellac.
It's all set. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
So-
honestly probably going to be one of my weekend projects. I love that idea. I think that's great.
Is
Who's
it-
this picture? Is this anyone of like your family?
Oh, yes. So it's hilarious because that's actually my family from 89. Yeah. Yeah, that's like, what, 31 years?
Wow.
33 years or so?
Oh my God.
So that's like one of those things like the setups like at the Big E.
Oh,
Oh my
that's a
God,
biggie.
one of those like
Yeah.
you go. I was gonna say
You go, you
89.
dress up.
Why are you guys dressed like that? That's like Tony's attire.
No, but that's one of those
That's
things.
what it is, okay.
So it always throws people off because they're like, what is this? Is it actually something from old or this and that? And so people that know our family are like, wait, is that?
Is that you? You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's me.
So
I love that.
There's fun, like it's like
The
honestly
3D
like a
one
giant,
over there is cool.
Oh yeah, the 3D one. It's a giant scavenger hunt when you first come in.
Yeah.
The
Carly and I were like a couple beers deep, and we're like, is that actually sticking out of the wall? Is it flat? But it's just right.
So that's our fun. Just watching the patrons as they go to the bathroom when they're walking by and everything,
Yeah.
and being like, okay,
right.
can they have another? Have they had enough? And it's thrown so many people off.
Yeah.
And it's one of those. It's and eventually people will realize what it is.
Yeah.
Is that a piece by one of your family members as well?
No, that's actually the only one that's not. It came from a family member though.
Oh, okay. 'Cause that thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt bad. There was a family sitting here, and I wanted to be like, I'm not staring at you. I promise. I'm staring at the picture behind you because I need to know what's happening here.
Yeah, so you get that, and then actually in some of the other walls, you get like some fun history of the town, or
Yeah, the newspaper clippings.
Yeah, newspaper clippings. The old photograph is of the New Haven Farmers Market from the 56.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
55, 56. So actually a lot of farmers in this county, one of their family members is in that picture.
Oh, that's super
So
cool.
like
So
my
they'll come in,
grandfather,
they'll be
my
like,
uncle are in.
Isn't that my?
Oh yeah. Oh, we've had a bunch of people in the area, and they're like, they walk by, they look at it, and they read the footnote, and they're like, "Is it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then people that have actually found family members in it.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
love
cool.
that. I love how
And-
much history there is here.
Oh yeah, and then actually for the oldest piece of history besides the house and the wood, there's the article on the hay rake that was actually invented in our town.
Oh, like when they're like the
yeah.
thing that actually gathers all the hay for like the horses and stuff. Is that what I'm thinking of? It's like a
Yeah, the
giant tractor
old-fashioned
with a
one.
thing on the back of it, essentially, right?
Yeah, so like the ones that they used to pull by horse,
Okay.
that was invented in town.
No way.
Wow.
So there's a whole article on that one.
That's cool.
I always forget
Yeah.
that Connecticut's one of the oldest states in the country. So we do have a lot of pioneering, history or a lot of early engineering miracles and things like that here.
Not just with farming, but the fun thing is Christmas cards were actually invented in our town.
What, in Northford?
In Northford, right down the street.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. So the original Christmas card factory was 3 miles down the street
Wow.
on the same river that's right in our backyard here.
Wow.
And there's actually some fun things we're going to be doing with that down the road.
Yeah.
Doing a little homage for the town's history. Actually one of the original button factories in the Northeast too.
That's cool.
I love that. I love that.
Wow. I don't know when this is going to get aired. I know we just passed Valentine's Day.
Soon.
No,
Soon.
no. So when I'm
I'm
asked,
sorry, whoever we filmed. I would like to.
Oh wait, we still have one more that's coming.
no, right. So what I'm going to ask about is so Valentine's
so
Day-
good.
Valentine's Day just passed. And
Thank
so we're
God.
going into March soon. Like what do you got coming up?
So with Valentine's Day, we did a fun dessert pairing with Drunkapaca.
love
So we
those guys.
did like how we just had a flight of beer. They did a flight of desserts for us. We have a few pictures of that online, Instagram, stuff like that. We're gonna be doing one for St. Patty's Day.
Awesome.
Oh, a dessert pairing for St. Patty's Day?
We're gonna do a whoopie pie pairing for St. Patty's Day.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Carly loves whoopie.
I just say we just made her day.
I love Drunk Alpaca. I used to live in
Those
Shelton.
girls are amazing.
I used to live in Shelton, so they were right down the street. And when they first opened up, I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
beer desserts? What?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever had them?
Yeah.
Oh, I love them. The girls are great. They're so much fun.
Yeah, Jess and Steph, you can't go wrong with them. So we're gonna do a whoopie pie flight with them, and then we're gonna do it the day of St. Patty's Day plus the weekend after. And we'll have the to-go options available as well.
Yeah.
When our 2 farm stands open up, we're gonna start carrying more of their stuff weekly. and having some spot on like pre-orders. So be like, hey, this weekend we have these 3 pies available, or we have these few whoopie pies available for pre-order, whatever it might be.
You got to get Micro to come out and do some corned beef poutine.
Just for Brandon.
That would be good.
So it's not going to be for St. Patty's Day, but there are farm-to-table dinners coming up in the summertime.
Nice.
I'll mention that afterwards. So that's coming in March. We have a few March beers coming, St. Patty's beers coming.
Nice.
We have Irish Red coming.
Oh.
So that's going to be our main St. Patty's March
like
beer.
An ale?
Irish Red Ale.
Okay.
So a craft version of a Killian's.
Okay.
Nice.
But like, because who actually does Irish Red?
No one.
Yeah,
no one. Literally no one.
It's this time of year. It's nice and malty, but easygoing. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
We're also looking to do 4 and extra stout. And looking to put that on nitro. So that'd be our like craft version of a Guinness.
Nice.
So we. And people knowing, watching, know the history. So my bulldog's name was Guinness. So we always like doing stuff like that. And then in the summertime, we're gonna do a tribute for him. So that would be some kind of English style.
Because he was an English bulldog, right?
He's an old English bulldog.
Yeah.
So could be English ale, ESB, or maybe even like an English stout. One of the 3. We're still trying to figure it out. But we wanted to wait until the summertime when people could be outside and enjoy everything.
Yeah.
So we'll do something like that. Next weekend, as he's already drinking it.
I have not drank it yet.
Listen,
I just need to be holding something.
Yeah.
I'm old, so my hands shake, so I need to be holding something.
Shake?
Yeah.
What do you got that? What's the shaky thing?
Parkinson's?
Yeah. Thank you. You guys looked at me like I was crazy.
No, I actually felt sick all day until I started drinking. Now I'm getting concerned.
But we're the same way. Whenever
That's
we
because
get,
he ate Reaper peppers.
that is not. It's not his fault.
Yeah,
It's
no.
definitely.
It's he did to himself. He ate a bunch of Reaper peppers.
Yeah, I had
destroyed his system.
Poisoned himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little cocky with my food eating.
You were like, I got this.
I tried to be the man. See, this is what pride tears everything down. As soon as you get too prideful and you try to prove yourself, everything falls apart. I've been sick for 24 hours.
If I'm gonna say something right now, I hate being the partner in your food blog because I hate not eating things warm. You have to wait forever while you get photos and videos and pictures. So the same way he is, he's like, I'm just gonna drink the beer. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat the food.
Well, that's a good thing to tell restaurants, because restaurants will invite food bloggers out and be like, I'll give you free food if you post. And it's nice and we want to help, but like we don't enjoy the food because we're taking pictures for an hour and a half and then it's cold.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, invite us to
unless
come
it's
back.
supposed to be cold.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if it is, it's warming up.
Great.
Right.
Exactly. It's getting like soft.
Nature.
And,
Yeah. It's like the ice cream melted.
Yep, ice
It's
cream
like, yep.
melted.
Yep.
The green beans were crunchy again because they got
Yep.
reverted. Now they're raw again.
Oh, it's bad. But I love March, by the way.
Oh yeah.
March. My birthday's March 1st.
Okay. Yes, we were saying that before.
Yep.
You hate leap years.
I hate leap year because, well, I like it now because I'm getting old, but I hated it when I was a kid and I wanted my presents.
And I wanted my presents.
My name is Brandon, which is an Irish name. My last name starts with an O. I'm pale skin, but I'm not at all Irish. But I pretend I am in the month of March. So I
pretend I am.
yep. I put an apostrophe after the O just for St. Patty's Day.
I was gonna say, if like you had like blonde red hair,
Yeah.
I've got
maybe
a
you could go
great
for
wig.
it, but
Yeah.
you have no hair,
I
so
Sorry, I've got a lot of great wigs.
yeah.
And I've worn them before.
He keeps his son is his son is younger, so he makes fun of him constantly. And his son's got great hair.
He does.
So
My
we
son
gotta
has
put him. We gotta
glorious
put him
hair.
in something. We gotta give him some sort of hair to make fun
Yeah.
of his son.
My son told me I know my time is limited, so I'm gonna have glorious hair until it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are drinking.
So this
Skywalker?
is for next weekend, Skylark.
Skylark.
So-
I keep wanting to say Skywalker. I'm stuck on the Star Wars today, guys.
You and Annie.
I
Come
can't-
on. So with the Skylark, it's a hybrid of our fastest selling IPA, the Meadowlark. So when the Meadowlark first came out, version 1 in the summertime, it actually came out the weekend right after we had the tornadoes.
Okay.
So we sold out the whole batch in 4 days. So like that
Wow.
Sunday and then the first few days of the following weekend, gone.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say everyone hated it.
It was like those 2 weekends after the storm passed, beautiful summer weekends.
They were just like,
And that was like between the 2 IPAs we had, they hit that. And like some tabs had like freaking 8 of them on their tab.
I love that.
Like
That's awesome.
and it was like people that normally didn't drink IPAs were drinking it. And we're like, are you the same person that comes here every weekend?
It's like, wait, we kind of nailed this. We kind of
Yeah.
killed it.
So we took that and rounded it with one of our other IPAs that's more of a double between the Green Hill and then our Cashmere Condor, and took those. And this is essentially the child of that. Between the hops, the reason why I say is because of all the hops that we used. The Meadowlark was just straight our Mount Rainier. And then the other 2 just put together help round off like the little bitterness, everything else like that.
It's so bright. It's like bright.
Oh, yeah.
It tastes. I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. I don't know how to tell you what bright tastes like, but it's bright.
It's hazy, juicy, but it's not. You could float a quarter on it, hazy. With New England
Fair enough.
IPAs.
Guys, go in the comments and tell Carly how to describe beer.
I don't understand. If you drink beer, you understand what I'm saying when I say it tastes very bright and it's like not like a heavy like.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
That is a nice one where it's refreshing.
Like I can tell it's an IPA, but I'm not
Oh, yeah.
weighed down by it. And it's
Carly told me at breakfast this morning that I have to learn how to describe food without saying awesome and amazing, and that's all and delicious. So I'm telling her to learn how to describe right.
And
Yeah.
wow.
And wow.
wow.
yeah.
It's a
And
lot of wow.
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 Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So now I have to do research. And this is becoming a job.
There you go.
Crazy.
You should just be a bald guy eating. Now it's a job.
I used to just be a bald guy eating. No, this is delicious.
Yeah. So Skylark, it's 7.6. So like how we were talking about
was
with
gonna say,
the
it's
IPAs
so light.
before,
Yeah.
it drinks light, but it's still that solid IPA. It's not New England, but it's not like what we were drinking the Green Hill before, where you can see through it.
Yeah.
And it's very easygoing. Like in summertime, this a batch would probably sell on the weekend. In summertime.
Absolutely. Because it's not a nice middle ground. It's not like a session.
Yes.
It's not a double. It's not. And it's honestly a little bit, to me, it tastes a little bit like, like lighter than like a normal like standard IPA, but it still has that nice thick mouthfeel.
Yes, the mouthfeel is definitely there because like we use
It's like my favorite word. Don't laugh at me. I love the word mouthfeel.
You like a thick mouthfeel?
It's cannot stand you.
because she wants to say yes, but because of you.
Exactly. But I do I really like milkshake IPAs
why I'm
because
here.
of how it feels. Or like,
Yeah.
have you ever had like a real pisco sour with like double strained with egg white? Like it tastes like a milkshake. It's beautiful, and that's what kind of get mouthfeel's my favorite word. I don't have to explain it to you. I rescind everything I've already said.
Sounds amazing. Awesome. Wow.
Awesome! Wow, it's delicious.
I have a question because your beer is so good. And
I have to say, nothing we've tasted here. I'm like, oh.
yeah, last time we were
Everything is
here, we took
delicious.
the Prairie Fire home.
I'm taking the Prairie Fire home again today
Yeah.
because I'm definitely gonna buy some more. I traded it with the guy at Tribus. I told him I had it. He's like, "Can I trade you one for a 4-pack of assorted Tribus?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes, fine." They were so happy.
Yeah, so I guess my question, and I'm sorry, I don't
Those
go
are
to the
good.
package stores and buy beer because I mentioned the child support, so I usually don't have any money left over. But
Yeah.
do you distribute, or do you have plans to distribute at any point, like cans?
So right now we're only on site.
Okay.
And that's just because it's Beacon Farm Brewery. We have a small brew house. It's only a 3-barrel.
Yeah.
And since day one, I always wonder. I'm like, why didn't I at least go to like a 5 or 7-barrel? But we always wanted the beer to be fresh.
Yeah.
So by doing the small batches, yeah, you have to be constantly brewing. In the summertime, it sucks because you're brewing like twice a week.
Yeah.
And like trying to play catch up and everything else like that.
So you can't be doing like the if you have a stout that's been aged for a year and you sell out of it in a certain time, you obviously can't have that again on deck in theory, right?
Exactly. So a lot of our aged programs we make in the wintertime or early springtime because that's the down season.
Okay, and then you release kind of your regular like not quick to brew but quicker to brew things in the summer.
Correct. Yeah. So most styles you could put out in 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Like a easygoing blonde, you could put out in 2 weeks. A basic porter or stout, put out in 2 weeks. IPAs could range from 2 weeks to 3 weeks, depending on dry hopping, all stuff like that. Lagers, nope. Lagers, you need at least like 6 to 8 weeks.
Really?
And so we have like our Finch that you had the last time you guys were here. We have a Pilsner that's going to take its place. So that'll probably be in 2 to 3 weeks from now. And it's been lager right now. So we're like, when the Finch kicks, then the Pilsner will go on. But come end of May, June, July, that's probably just going to be like either a blonde or a quick, maybe like a corn base. Just be like, okay, can we get this out in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So no future plans for that.
So we're working on trying to have one of our friends contract brew to do cans, 4-packs. And that's just to have cans for like here, maybe do some distro with that.
Cool.
The challenge is like right now we do the crawlers. And in the summertime with the farm stand, we do the CSA. So we do like a CSA add-on with the beer. We're going to have to limit that. Because last summer, we actually had to cut people off from buying growlers.
Really?
Because it's just our demand. We just needed the beer for here.
They were coming in and buying they're like, I need 2 of these, one of those.
Well, that's the thing. And then we turn around and be like, we need beer for here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love the crowler though. Like,
You can't go wrong. Like we have the Seamer right here.
Yeah.
We do a tall boy. It's 24 ounces. You go be like anything that's on draft. Boom, boom. It's done.
Yeah.
Keep in your fridge. You can have it for a couple months. No issue at all.
It's awesome.
I do think there's some allure though to the fact that you guys don't distribute, because to come in here, you are so enthusiastic about what you do. You are so not only are you fantastic at what you do, but the energy that you just exude it lights up the room. Like when you came over to our table, I was like, oh my God, like he's got to be someone important. Because just the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself.
I noticed your curly hair right away when I walked in.
I
was jealous.
I had curlier hair. I did get a haircut from then to now. It's usually I get a haircut like maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
So they're like, you have to go, or we're taking the sheep shears to you. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It was where I think it was like when we were in the brew house or something.
Yeah.
You're commenting on, he's like, I love your hair. I'm like, and the lack of.
It's like, it's so glorious. I
It's
just
a little
admire
shiny.
hair at this point. Is it shiny?
It is shiny.
It is with the lights,
It's very, it's reflective. People will see you at night.
Joe needs extra lighting sometimes, so I just go like, I do one of those.
Just shine a flashlight at it and it bounces off.
Yeah, I gotta help my boy Joe out, He's everything to me. I don't know if I've told you guys that yet.
But so we have all that coming. Trying to think what else.
But to what Carly was saying about the Allure, the first IPA, the first IPA I ever had was Julius from Treehouse.
What a good IPA to start with.
And I had Haze. This is the second one. It was right after that.
So my question for you
It was
is,
at Munson.
it was okay. I was gonna say, where was it?
It was out of a growler.
Okay.
And it was from Munson. And so that started my beer love, and I started driving to Munson.
Yep.
And to wait in line for 2 hours to get 6 Haze back then.
Yep.
I used to do that with Fuzzy Baby Ducks when they released it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, and it's amazing how I think all recipes evolve. Just like how, like we have Skylark coming. It was this one.
Mm-hmm.
With some of these guys, that's why I was asking, like, which rendition did you have? Because we've noticed, especially with like some of the larger guys too, when you go from like a system like us, 3-barrel, 7-barrel to 15 or to even a 30,
definitely changes.
It changes the recipe because increasing the volume isn't linear in beer.
Isn't it the water too?
And the water too.
Yeah.
And the water. Which you could doctor up with salts.
Yeah.
And relatively, in most cases, you could get the water to where you want it to.
Yeah. There's so much Charlton hate out there on social media about the new Treehouse location. Like, I'm on a Treehouse enthusiast page because it's my first love. Like, Treehouse is my first beer love. And people are just like, wish it was Munson, like all day. Everybody.
Oh my God.
People are like, juice machines out. They'd be like, it tastes like burnt Julius. Like, I wish it was Munson.
Oh my God.
But these guys are doing so much beer now. It's like.
Well, that's the thing. They're pushing the volume out.
Yeah.
But weren't we talking about like your Tribus before? And it's going back to that.
What?
Oh, going back to your first love.
Oh, your Tribus divorces.
I would never go back to her.
I would never go back. Only his second love. He'll go back to his second love twice.
Yeah.
The first love.
Well, the first one cost me about $750,000, and the second one is just like split everything with me. She's cool.
So monetarily, you were like, this one's cheaper to try again.
Yeah, like the first one just like destroyed me. But zoom in.
Please say that. If you have the chance, you should. Is it on your page? Your Valentine's Day video.
No, it
should
was
post
on a
that as a-
story.
Post it as a video.
I'll put it in my rant highlight.
He has a
Okay.
Valentine's Day video that is probably one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. It's just him being alone, like holding like a box that says love and just being like,
My daughter made me
It's
that.
the violin one.
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
music like that. And then like he clipped together, we had done Tribus, and at one point I'd been laughing at him. He clips together slow-mo me laughing at him. I'm like, oh.
And then me putting my head down. But it's to Justin Bieber's Lonely. And it's
Oh god.
fun story. Like the picture that says love that I was holding, my daughter made me that for Valentine's Day in
Oh my
preschool.
God. So it's super cute.
It's super cute.
but also it looks so sad.
It's so sad. Anyway.
That's all good.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This
Oh, yeah,
was so
anytime,
much
guys.
fun. I absolutely loved it. Again, I think the fact that you were so excited about what you do and you're so great at it. Your team is fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, I have to ask you, actually, this is something I wanted to know.
Uh-oh.
Going through your bios, you know,
Yeah.
I was looking at, I read yours, I read Guinness's, and then your brewer, Colin.
Yeah.
What happened where he has all of the,
Yeah, what
that's
is-
mash all over him, right? What happened?
No, that's yeast shrub.
Is that, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah. It'd be so much better if it was mashed shrub or mash.
Mash. Just thick oatmeal.
Yeah. Oatmeal facial. Yeah.
I'm happy I like looked at it, I was like, don't say it.
I like that Alex knows me by now. He's like, enough.
But no, so it's funny because we're doing our bios and everything, and I was hounding Colin for like 2 months. I'm like, just send me a picture, something, anything.
Selfie me.
And he couldn't figure something out, and like he was asking his wife and this and that. And then one day in the brew house, he sent me a picture. He's like, just when you thought your day was going well, and he was cleaning out, like trying to harvest one of the yeast from one of the tanks and everything like that, and it just went in all over.
Oh, no.
Like it covered all over the floor, one of the nearby tanks, himself. And I'm looking at that. I'm like, he's like, yeah, good thing I had to change of clothes. I'm like, but where did you take a shower?
He's like, shower. Wait,
I like though.
wait, I was supposed to shower?
Yeah, it was. If you see the picture, you'll understand. But that's a day in life in the brew house.
Go to stewardsoftheland.com,
.com.
right?
Yep.
Stewardsoftheland.com. Go to their brewer, like their brewer section, and look all the way. Not only do you have to read Alex and Guinness's because they're amazing. Look at Colin's photo, and you'll understand what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's an
great that that's
amazing photo.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I love that you made that his bio photo. Like, it's awesome.
Oh yeah. It reminds me of that. I think someone did like either a meme or it's like that video of when you're having a bad day in a brew house. It's of that guy where he's trying to change one of the clamps or he's doing something and it disconnects and like the whole tank's like geysering at him.
Oh no!
And like just gallons upon gallons of beer is
just,
just
like,
going
sitting
everywhere. Yeah, it's one of those. It's like, how can I? Yeah,
I'm just gonna go fuck myself.
yeah. If you're in the industry, you either know someone that's gone through that, or you've done it yourself, or yeah. Oh yeah.
It's part of the growing pains of becoming a brewer.
You're at least gonna take a beer shower at least once in your life. If not, you touch something, and something goes rocketing across the room, or that you go and turn the hose on and something's not closed. And yeah, it's happened to all of us in the growing pains here and there all over. But it's one of those. It's
part of the process.
it's a business, small business, and yeah, it's fun. You have to have fun somehow.
Yeah. Listen, you work with beer. You work with one of the most fun things I can personally think of to consume. So how can you not have fun?
Now there's food.
And now
I'm just saying, he has the food to go with it. So,
So guys, like, thanks for joining us at Stewards of the Land today.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
This was awesome. Like, we
Yeah.
really appreciate your time. And
Oh yeah, anytime.
guys, if you like what you're seeing on Bring It to the Table, go on, like, subscribe, comment. Did I miss one? Follow.
I don't know. Yeah.
Follow is the important one.
Whatever you're on,
Yep.
do the thing.
Do the thing. And
And absolutely go check out Stewards of the Land. Go like, follow, comment, subscribe, retweet, repost,
follow.
Your post.
Send hate
Follow.
mail.
share
Yeah.
all of your social media things, and absolutely come visit. Because they don't distribute, you can't get it anywhere else, so you better come here. If you are in my area or your area, you're only 20, 25 minutes away. If you're farther than that, it's worth the drive. And I know you guys who are watching are brew heads, so you're going to make the drive. So stop lying to yourself and just get here.
Which I'm still waiting for Brando to come and have the mango. He's been eyeing the Prairie Fire.
Ooh.
Ever since it came out, he's like I could hear like his like virtual orgasm coming through. Brewheads.
Oh yeah.
When it like first came out, they comment on it, they're looking at it, and it's like you've seen when they've done the standing, the three of them together, and they're like, oh, it's like one of those. It's like
you guys aren't
I'm waiting.
If you guys don't come soon,
yeah,
I'm gonna personally buy it all. So you guys better
absolutely
get on that.
So guys, we'll see you at a nearby brewery soon, and then on our next episode. And
nearby or far away, who's to know?
Hey, look, if you want to be featured on Bring It to the Table, let us know. Go into our DM, send us a message, and we just want to come out and exactly what we just did with Alex is highlight the amazing stuff that you guys do and the passion behind it. So, thanks for joining.